Hello and welcome to SnowRunner. We are doing Geological Exploration, one of the 2 contracts needed in order to unlock 3 of the 4 maps in the Taymir region. The other contract being called... where is it? Of course I can't find it now. Oh, there it is at the bottom. Looking beyond the horizon. Which, I have to admit, I kind of wish they'd remove this prerequisite given the stage of the game is in. Because looking beyond the horizon is relatively easy to do to unlock your engine upgrades, but... Anyway. So I thought I'd make a video. Originally this was just going to be getting to one of the 3 points, but... I've kind of come up with a way to not have a super long video, but also get all 3 points into a video, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to start by going to the one at the top, by going up this road, which I want to say is the north point. The little box that shows I'm recording is, for some reason, over it, in case you're wondering why I'm guessing here. Anyway. So, there are several ways to get to this point. I picked this route because it's kind of, relatively speaking, what am I... Oh, there's a big boulder that I just can't brute force my way over. Okay, that's what's... Anyway. Because another way... I probably shouldn't stop on this road, would be to turn off here and then just cut across, but that's a long, muddy drive. And there's also this bridge, and I believe there may be... No, just this bridge, and this area can kind of be a rollover hazard, and it'll just burn so much fuel, so it's better just to follow the road, come down and around this way, and then come up here. I started by the gas station so I could top off the fuel tank, because I don't know how much fuel I'm going to burn, and we'll probably stop there before going to the furthest point. As for why I'm choosing the International, well, 2 reasons. Reason 1 is I thought I'd do this contract with a base game truck just as a help, because you can't really assume what trucks people have access to based on what DLC regions, since there's so much content in this game. I mean, there are certain trucks I guess you could say it's be safe to assume that you can use, but I wanted to use a base game truck just for that reason. As for why I'm not using the Tayga, mainly the ground clearance. If I had access to the race suspension and 50-inch tires, the Tayga could probably do this job, but I wanted something with a little more ground clearance, so that's why I chose the International 5070, which all you need to do is get the money together to buy it. Also, in case you're wondering, I'm not really paying attention to the distance marker. It's simply because I remember where this is. He says turning the wrong way. So, let's back up. Oh, gotta get out of low gear first. And so, it's just kind of really a ground clearance thing that made me want to use this truck. Also, as far as trucks in the base game that can do this job, unfortunately the Boron D and the Boron AE, which are which is in the start, they cannot do this job. For some reason, I think the game developers had in mind that you reach a certain level before you access all the engines for the more capable Russian trucks. Since when the game launched, there was only 3 regions, Michigan, Alaska, and this Taymir was meant to be the 3rd region that was the most difficult, so if you powerful Russian trucks, the other reason you kind of make the game difficulty curve. And I completely forgot about this little crossing. we have a nice little grassy spot here we can turn around on. And so, 2 Russian vehicles you can do this with are the Azov 5319, but that doesn't unlock until driver rank 14, and the Vorongrad, which doesn't unlock until driver rank 18. So you are kind of channeled if you want to do this early, or now that you just want to get engines and then go to later content. You kind of are pushed into using a few vehicles. As for if you don't care about not using DLC vehicles, I'm pretty sure the MAC Defense could absolutely do this. I have on Quarry used the Dairy Special 15 C-177, and it just laughs at the mud terrain, so that's another vehicle. Although I have noticed a tip-over issue, but it seems to only be with the lightweight loading crane messing with the weight. On North Agent's installation, had it fall on an unreachable lift shelf and had to pay to have it recovered because there was no way to get it out, which was a little bit annoying. Oh, and there may be a temptation once you're done with this first point to come down these rocky ravines. Don't do that. I've actually gotten the Tayga beached, the Tayga 6436 beached on rocks because of its lack of ground clearance. I suppose if you wanted a Russian truck going to Maine and then doing the contracts to unlock the Tayga 6455B would potentially be another one. And I was originally thinking about actually using that truck, but I don't have it unlocked on this file because I was curious to see how its stock off-road tires would do here. But since I didn't, and the way this file's going, that's why we're in the internet. Which I just recently learned, surprisingly enough, was actually a collaboration between International and a European truck manufacturer called DAF. And so, it really does kind of live up to the name. And turn up here. As you can see, we got the BP going now. And partially, it's hard to stay on this road, and that's why you often end up in that valley, which I wouldn't recommend doing. And other than a couple spots where you have to be careful, the mud isn't really too crazy, so it's more of a balance issue, which just kind of opens up more options. But really, most of my decisions of what truck I use for this job are really based on getting to the south point, because it's in the middle of the swamp, so you can't really just go there with any truck. And so that's part of the story here. Because 2 of the places are, relatively speaking, easy to get to, and almost any vehicle with the combination of all-wheel drive and off-road tires at least can get there. It's really the south point that restricts you. And here's another road. Actually, that may... Oh, okay, it zigzags. Yeah. And so, getting to this first one is relatively easy. I want to say it's right over here to my left. That's kind of one of the other things. You can kind of look for these little, like, open areas. And so... Oh. Yeah. And so we'll do our survey. And if nothing happens, I'm going to cut out the part and I'll have us rejoin the video right here, and then we'll be taking down this road. But I'll keep recording in case something happens on the way down. But yeah, this descent is usually what gets me into trouble doing this contract. So, we'll see. And here's about where I usually end up, because I'll follow right into that ravine. So you kind of want to break trail and just kind of make your own path, because as you can see, it kind of crosses back over, but I don't miss that, and that's how I end up following this river bed and getting myself into trouble. So. Nice. Still managed to find a way to get myself into trouble. Good job, me. At least because of the ground clearance, the 5070 can get itself out. Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm still recording. This is a situation. And I'm going to turn in the direction it wants to roll to get a tire and... Okay, so rollover risk is also another reason you want to be careful descending this hill. And stay on the road if you can help it. You could argue the better thing would have been to go up here and then come down and around this way. Probably. Anyway, well, I guess we're cutting till when I get a rescue vehicle here. And, ironically, it's the Tayga that comes to the rescue. Mainly just because I'm not planning to bring it to Amor right away, so I can afford to spend the transport cost and not have to worry about it, basically. But, here we go. But yeah, you can see this thing rides, and then that little rocky area off to the truck's right is where I usually get it stuck, which is what I was hoping to avoid by getting over to this rolling road in front of us. But as you can see, oopsie happened. Let me just check something. Okay, so this is the road I'm thinking of. So, now, the recovery. Should be relatively easy. Oh, and I was looking around in the truck store. The Azov 64131 that is available from the stars, which costs 90-something thousand, does get the seismic vibrator, which kind of makes sense, I guess, because this truck at 82 gets it. But the one thing I will say is I'm kind of surprised because the Azov comes with all-terrain tires stock, which is kind of interesting since normally they don't unlock until driver rank 6 for some trucks. The reason I say some trucks is the Tayga here doesn't get them until driver rank 9, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know that for the longest time. But anyway, we'll just park this right here. And I was going to stop, but I forgot it's $6 a liter for fuel here, so we're just going to take some fuel from the Tayga. That should be more than enough to get it down to the gas station if I need to. And now we're on the way again. Let's hopefully try and not get ourselves into trouble. Now let me see, I'm kind of tempted. I could go down to that road, but I haven't done this recently, so I don't exactly know what's down there. So, you know, it looks level enough. Let's do that. This may be a bad idea, but we got to take it. But okay, it's not as bad. I was expecting like some ravines or crevices or something that would try to flip me. That's not actually too bad to get down here. And I think I'm going to take a shortcut because if you follow this road around, which you can, and just go all the way around here, there's a chance of a rollover in this area, so we're actually going to break trail. And I probably should have just taken this road is what I should have done. Because ultimately you want to go through and then get here. It's been a while since I've done this, so can't remember if I was thinking if I maybe went this way. But anyway, we probably should take this, due to the size of our fuel tank, we should probably take the straightest path I can to there. So let's break trail here and try not to roll ourselves over it. Technically, you could argue the Azov 64131, because it has a more fuel-efficient modern truck engine, would be a better choice for this contract, because the unique engine in this truck is burning fuel at the rate of the old heavy that you get in the Tayga 6436, or one of the American trucks like the, I shouldn't, the Pacifics are technically Canadian trucks, and the Pacific 512P is one of the old heavy engines. So, technically, probably the better truck. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it's not level locked since it comes with all-terrain tires. You'd think that would be the case, but then again, you can get all-terrain singles from the very beginning. Those aren't level locked. It's only all-terrain duals that are level locked. So I'm going to put a little marker right there because that's where we need to go. So I guess there is some consistency, but at the end of the day, I don't know. So, keep on trucking. Here's where I should have crossed and I didn't think about it. Or right here. Instead of getting into that. May have been able to make it through without winching, I don't know. Now, instead of going all the way around, because that's what you potentially can do, sometimes that's a great thing about SnowRunner. You can see that there's kind of gaps in the trees. So we're gonna break tail and kind of go this way just to go straight at where we need to scan. So, should be able to weave our way through the trees since this truck isn't too wide or too long. But you can easily get yourself into trouble doing this, so this isn't exactly something you should do just all the time. And see, we're through. Now let's see. Okay. Now this should be. Honestly, I forgot you could come in this way. I was thinking I was gonna have to drive through the swamp. This way may actually open up some other trucks that you can use for this task. I'll show you on the way out what I thought I was going to have to drive through. Looks like things aren't as bad coming in this way, and then you can just retrace your steps. So that was kind of a little bit of a muddy mess to get here anyway, so. And we're here. Now we just have one more point left. Okay, that's a little weird that it just closed in that spot. Okay. No, I thought we were going to have to drive through this muddy, swampy mess. I originally tried to do this video for another file just as a general how-to video with the BM17 Royal, but that's where I kind of learned that you don't want to do this with a truck that lacks differential locking. That can just really kill you with this. So, anyway, we're on our way to the last point. Okay, I didn't remember that the mud was actually this bad. Now I understand why I was actually, when I tried to do this with the BM17, I actually stayed on the edge. you could argue this is definitely territory that's so bad that you'd actually want to put mud tires on for this job. I completely forgot about that. But anyway, let's get ourselves out of here. Although mud tires don't unlock until a higher level than off-road, so at that point you might as well just wait a few more levels to get the as of 64 one. I mean the as of 5319 for its better ground clearance and speed. Although that speed does kind of potentially open you up to flipping because you're going too fast, so you do have to be careful. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough fuel to make it to our drop-off point, which was right here at the fuel station, to refill on our way to the southern point, which is roughly in this area. I don't remember exactly where. Should be an uneventful drive, but I'm gonna record the whole drive just in case something happens. Honestly, if you're asking for advice, you're probably coming back through here and then either going down this road and coming up this way, or going around because the mud's real bad right here. There could be a case for going around to refuel. Oh, this area looks like a harmless area of compacted dirt. No, it's grass with mud under it, so you want to stick near to the trees, and that's what I did after coming out the front gate. Tried to cut across, but I'd forgotten that this area is kind of a little bit of a trap. So we're down here, gonna deliver some fuel, and then we're gonna get going. And I'm probably just gonna take this all the way back up here, and there shouldn't be anything too crazy happening. And then we're gonna go through here this way, and then up this way. The reason we're doing that is, well, I don't remember the slopes, but this area can get a little crazy. This little area is a mud pit, and there is definitely a tip hazard if you take this connecting road. So this route is very much take the route that's least likely to get you into a situation that tips over. Technically, I could come up here and then go down like this, but honestly, I'm gonna play it safe and take it slightly longer route. If you ask me, the engine you get for the coal ops, that's not revealed by a watchtower that's up here and it's kind of hidden. You ask me, should be in here and revealed by a watchtower. That's where I would have put it. And then, let's see if I've uncovered... I haven't uncovered enough of the map. But in this area, there's another hidden upgrade in like a small canyon area. Just like this one. Anyway, here we go. I haven't decided whether I'm going to make this 2 videos or 1. It's going to depend on how I compress and edit the footage. Which is why I formed an intro and a thumbnail for this, just in case it becomes 2 videos. Well, I always forget about that level 10 area. As you can see, the 5070 is surprisingly stable. So that's one of the things in favor of it being your drug choice. Now, you could argue the better fuel economy of the Atmel 64131 plus a little engine power could potentially make it a choice. But I'd caution that that thing only comes with all-terrain tires, so you're still going to have the expense of putting OHDs on because there are places in this region where all-terrain tires will not get you through the terrain. So even though you're replacing the highway tires on the 5070 with OHDs, you're still going to come out ahead in terms of money spent. So basically, it just comes down to how much do you value the extra fuel economy. And you're not going to have that great of a power difference with the stock engine on the Azov. And unlike Russian old truck engines, there aren't really any upgrade engines on other regions except for one engine that goes only with the Warren Rad and the Dodge Phoenix. So you're roughly going to have the same power, and it really just comes down to how much do you value the slightly better fuel economy and the bigger fuel tank. And are you willing to pay a little more to get the truck and then pay the OHD tire cost on top of it, essentially. So, I'm personally impressed, and I'd say that because you can do crane plus flatbed, on this, actually you may be able to do that on the 6436 also. But I think this one potentially has slightly better ground clearance. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've used the Azov. So it's really going to come down to a personal preference thing. The reason I went with this is I just wanted to use an American truck. That was kind of another reason I did that, besides the reason stated earlier. Because I'm one of those who believes that there isn't a bias against US trucks. It's just the way the game was structured, plus the fact that the hardest region is also the last region and is a Russian region. And so that's why, from a game balancing perspective, it seems like the Russian trucks are better than the Americans, because you have proper progression in terms of capability. So I've never really bought into that. There are questionable decisions they've made with Russian vehicles too, which is others they why I don't believe the hypothesis that they have a bias against Western vehicles. Anyway, We should be getting close to our not our delivery point, our point where we scan, and I want to say you turn off here and kind of go this way. And as you can see, I burned some fuel since I got from the fuel station. And so this truck isn't really easy on the fuel economy. So it's something to keep in mind, and I'd probably recommend a support vehicle like the R87 or a DLC vehicle you'd like to use as a support vehicle for this contract, because you are probably going to run out. Now, if you take the way I did, I ran out about where the loaf is parked. You could argue I should have had a truck like somewhere around here. So do think about staging a fuel vehicle, because the drive across the map for this final point is going to use a lot of fuel. Let's see where, I don't remember exactly where the spot is supposed to be. Okay, not there. Okay, it looks like it's probably this little flat area right here. Yep. Right here, where you can see where I am on the map. And that will conclude this contract. Thank you for watching.